Should I speak into the mic? Okay. So hey guys, I'm Justine Grove. I am so happy to be featured on Homeward Sounds. This is so dope. Nice setup. Great day. I'll be singing some songs, some originals that I wrote, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This first one is called Do You Remember? Yeah. Wait, I know you. You're the one from up above. Come inside my home. Make yourself comfortable. I remember you. Oh, now, yeah. Your eyes shine way brighter than I thought, and your face is more beautiful. Please don't go away now. I remember praying on my knees, begging you to save me, begging you to save me. Do you remember me on my knees, begging you to save me, begging you to save me? No, no. Oh, 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 no. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Talk to me, please. Talk to me. I want to know you and understand things that I can't wrap my head around. No, I want to hear your voice. Yeah. Is it strong? Is it loud? Is it soft? Oh, I don't know. Talk to me, oh, I need to know. I remember praying on my knees, begging you to save me, begging you to save me. Do you remember me on my knees, begging you to save me, begging you to save me? Well, now I'm caught in the chemicals of a world that I'm left on. Yeah. Oh, I remember praying on my knees, please save me, please save me. Yeah. You look at me, oh, and I look at you. You're still way too beautiful. You sit there in silence as I write on, yeah. So I'll sit here in silence to hear you now go on, yeah. Let me just warm up these fingers just a little bit.
Do it up.
All right, you ready? All right. So you want me to talk, right? You want me to talk too?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. How do I describe I Don't Like It? So this next song is called I Don't Like It, and the song is about just not liking the way my mind works and understanding that a lot of the issues that would happen is solely because of me and the way that I'm thinking. So this one's called I Don't Like It. Being a wanderess is tiresome, living from the time of the moon till the time of the sun, forever traveling in my mind, never believing anything that I do. I always blame it on the world, but I know the sad truth. My crazy develops this distance between me and the universal you. And no, I don't like it. No, no, I don't like it. No, no, I don't like it. No, 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 I don't like it. Being the tree I am is tiresome. I grow and say it's okay, but I know I wish I could run. Run from all my fears, run from everything that I've done. The best part of having no roots is that you could run and not tell anyone. I always blame it on the world, but I know the sad, sad truth. My crazy develops this distance between me and the universe and you. And no, I don't like it. No, no, I don't like it. No, no, I don't like it. Oh. No, no, I don't like it. I know I'm crazy from the inside out, but what hurts is that the people seem run away. So I blame everyone else besides myself. That's why I'm alone. That's why I'm alone. That's why I'm alone. Ooh, yeah. That's why I'm alone. No, no, I don't like it. That's why I'm alone. No, no, I don't like it. That's why I'm alone. No, no, I don't like it. That's why I'm alone. No, no, I don't like it. That's why I'm alone. That's why I'm alone. Oh, being a wanderess is tiresome. Being a tree I am is tiresome. Being me is tiresome. Ooh, living with this is tiresome. And no, I don't like it. Thank you.
I love the not having roots line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cause it is, yeah. Cause growing up, I've bounced from like place to place so much. I don't think I have like roots that are like set in. Like I have family, but growing up there was never like a set. Yeah, like from Queens, Brooklyn, Queens. So I've been bouncing back and forth from Brooklyn to Queens, from school to school. So there was a lot of being like to myself and like being self. So with that, I don't think I have like roots. It's besides like my family. So it's like that. Yeah. So it's like that's why it's the best part of having no roots is that you could go and disappear and run. You don't have to tell a soul because it's not really going to be anybody looking for you, kind of, I guess, you know. So yeah.
Some freedom in it,
Yeah.
Well, and a beautiful song came out of it too.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right.
Sweet, on you.
Okay. All right. So this next song is called City C. And it's about getting lost in a city. Just to kind of reflect. So this is a little storytelling on my end. I kind of embellished a little bit, but it's basically a true story. So it's called City C. Go to the liquor store, whiskey right at the door. I take a shot on my own. This bottle tonight I will hold. Walking through the train stations, making names and calling faces. switching places, but I feel okay. Lost, I think I'll forever be a wanderess, always wandering under city lights, through the city streets. That is me forever. I'll let the ocean take me in, I'll let the waves crash, I'll let the sea take my peace as I drown in the city sea. As I drown in the city sea. Ooh, as I drown. They told me to let it go. Trust me if you only knew how long I've been trying to, but then I end up with the memory blues. I fight with every fiber in me, I get overwhelmed and then I flee right back into the city. That's where I feel most free. Lost, I think I'll forever be a wanderess, always wandering under city lights, through the city. That is me forever. I let the ocean take me in, I let the waves crash, I let the sea take my peace as I drown in the city sea. As I drown in the city sea. Ooh, as I drown in the city sea.
Oh man, that was beautiful.
Thank you. All right.
Just a little bit.
Just a little nip. Just a little bit. Let's think. All right. Whew. Okay. So this next song is called Air is Cold. And it works because the air is pretty cold. But this song is me speaking to life and life telling me, hey, you're kind of drowning yourself in routines instead of doing what it is you know you should do. But yeah, so this one's called Air is Cold. Legs shaking, hair blowing in my face, life came around. Stepping on my shoes, tugging at my heartstrings, life opened its mouth to make a sound. I'm cold, life said to me, ditto, ditto, I said right back. I whispered this into the frosty air. You know, I know that the air is cold, the air is cold. You know, I know that the air is cold, the air is cold. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Life's still stepping on my shoes, untied my laces, saying I'm still cold, can you please change this? Well, home is warm, but I'm not headed there. I said, life looked me straight in the eyes and told me you follow routines that leaves you dead. Cause you know, I know that the air is cold, the air's cold. 'Cause you know, I know that the air is cold, the air's cold. Whoa. The bus came and life pulled at my heartstrings again, running away, leaving thoughts that beg to stay. The bus came and life pulled. Woo! We caught it. The bus came and life pulled at my heartstrings again, running away, oh, leaving me with thoughts that beg to stay, yeah, that beg to stay, thoughts that beg to stay, that beg to stay, oh, 'cause you know, I know that the air is cold, the air's cold, 'cause you know, I know that the air is cold, the air's cold, 'cause you know, I know that the air is cold, the air's cold, whoa, but you know that I know that the air is cold, whoa, 'cause you know, I know that the air is cold, cold, yeah, so cold. We caught the camera.
Oh my. That was, this song was too good. Wait, that was amazing.
Oh man.
Is that, will that work? That's fine.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it adds an element. Like, oh, we got cameras falling.
Just kept rolling.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right. So this last song is called "Stubborn Mind / Stubborn Heart," and it's about falling in love but not wanting to. So here you go. It's pretty folky. With a stubborn mind and a stubborn heart, I fall for you despite all my scars. And you may be right and you may be wrong, but how can I know unless I try you on? 'Cause your lips is all that I want to taste, and to touch you would be a sin that I made. So for now I'll sit here with my mind so blue, singing to the air, hoping and longing for you. 'Cause I just want you to love me. Oh, I just want you to love me. Please do. Ooh. You're locked in my mind and it's doing me no good. So for now I'll sit here in hopes that you'll stay. Oh God, please, please douse this crave, yeah. 'cause I just want you to love me. Oh, I just want you to love me, please do.
So we got Justine Grove, another episode of Homeward Sounds, another episode on the couch. That song, "The Air Is Cold," was right on point, very fitting.
Hit the button.
Yeah, did you know you were gonna sing that, or did you wake up today and we're like, oh, actually, it's a little bit nippy. We're gonna go in that direction.
Because you know what's funny though, I still sing it like during the summertime where it's like scorching hot, and I'm like,
you wish the air was cold, maybe.
You know, the air is cold, but it's funny. But yeah, I think I always put that like on my set list all the time. Air is cold, because people love the.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. It's definitely like a very driving song, and even like acoustically, just you solo, it has such a driving vibe. I can only imagine, like seeing that live. It'd be really cool.
Like a full band.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole thing, yeah.
So being I guess to start off, where are you from? What brought you here? From around here, where you grew up and whatever.
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn and Queens. I grew up both. Like, grew up in Brooklyn, grew up in Queens.
Cool.
Like, back and forth. Obviously, if you know, from Queens, I'm from the city. I forgot the next question.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
I apologize. Yeah.
No, it's all good. But so being like when you started playing guitar, or is guitar your first instrument?
Yes, guitar is my first instrument.
Cool.
I got my first guitar when I was 14, an electric one, an Explorer. When I was 14, and I learned like the chords, like the C, the G, and I was like, from there.
That's all you need.
Yeah, I took it from there, and I was like, okay, cool, and I started writing straight away.
So when you're writing, like right now, obviously you're great on your own as a solo singer-songwriter. How does that play in terms of like, when did you, or do you, now I've seen you like collaborating with more people, and obviously you've got stuff on Spotify, elsewhere, that people can find that's more like fleshed out, full band type stuff. When you started writing songs at like 14, or playing guitar rather, what was your sort of evolution like in terms of creating songs by yourself, and then with other people, what have you?
I really took music like as a career wise. I did this in 2018, and with that I was forced to learn. It's like, okay, I gotta get a DAW, so I got Logic, and I was like, I have to get an interface, I have to record, I have to learn all these tricks, to get a good recording down. And for me, it was when I first wrote the music, I already heard what I want everything else to sound in my head. So I was able to, when it came down to recording, I was like, okay, I just need to learn how to play this, because I was also learning piano around the time, and I was like, how do I make these notes on the piano, and how do I play this with the bass? How do I, what is the harmony? What is this? So it was a lot of, 2018, I was like, okay, I'm going to learn this, and then when 2019 came, I was able to release music for the first time.
That's awesome. I mean, it's such in a sense, it's like a quick, pedal to metal, which I so respect. Yeah. You got some people, like even myself, I've been like, working on music for a while, and sort of, releasing songs here and there, and then I was like, saw you on social media, and you're like, like a year ago I released my first song, and here I am like crushing it. So it was really cool to see, and like it's been great to see everything you've been up to.
Thank you, man.
But so in terms of songwriting, like I've seen you on Instagram and whatnot. You start out, in this one example anyway, you were talking about just like starting out with the guitar, like a chord progression, and then layering some piano on top of it, maybe like a drum track or whatever. Does that change, or do you find yourself more taking one approach to like creation more than any other? Like, do you start with chord progression usually on guitar, or do you sort of change it up?
I change it up now, because I think since I learned more, and I found that there's easier ways when I'm making like a record, like, okay, it's easier if I start off with the piano. But a lot of my songwriting is done on the guitar, like on the go, or like a ukulele.
Right.
Like, I'll be outside just traveling, and I'll have like a song idea. I'll take off the ukulele and just like, hey, play something
So
out.
portable.
Right? It's
It's
perfect.
great. It's great.
But yeah, there is a lot of changing. And now lately what I've been doing has been producing like music first, and then I will write to that, which is kind of cool because production is still new to me, but I'm having so much fun with it and I'm learning
Very
so much.
cool.
So it's been like flipping and flopping. So it's whatever.
That's awesome.
Whatever feels, whatever comes out.
Yeah, it's interesting when you've been playing guitar since you were 14. I've been playing for a bit as well, like around the same amount of time, I guess I would say, and like you definitely you become comfortable on an instrument for better or for worse. You know, obviously it's great to like become better at your instrument and improve and whatever. But then you say like you're playing piano and whatnot. It's such an interesting thing, like shaking up your routines and your method of creation.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes I'll usually start out like my default will be on guitar, but then playing piano, which I'm not really that good at, it like somehow it's like limitations somehow like make for more of like creativity.
Yeah.
Because like you're still sort of figuring it out. You don't really have any patterns. So I don't know. It's pretty cool though to like see you know, I guess playing a bit more piano. Like on your records, do you play piano or?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
So it's just kind of cool. It took everything I do is pretty rhythmy. So like guitar, I play the rhythm.
Yeah.
Piano too would be like really like rhythm. So what I learned the chords and I learned like the scales and I was like, okay, I can do this from here.
That's all I need.
Yeah, and just go from
all I
there
need.
and just let it grow. But it does help what you say. It pulls more out of you because there's more of a thinking. Like when I default to the guitar, it's like the same kind of chord progression. While the piano, I'm like, okay, wait, but this sounds cool if I do it like that. So
You
yeah,
like
I
stumble
agree
on
with
something very simple and you're like, oh, all right.
wait a minute,
different
I
way to
don't
do
like
it.
that. Yeah.
And like you pair it back with like your other guitar playing and some cool stuff. I think I had read somewhere on your Spotify or something like that. You had spoke to songwriting in terms of like to heal, to like express, or to just to like make sense of the world. It was something like that. I'm paraphrasing here, but I remember reading it and it like really struck me and resonated with me. I thought it was really cool because it's so interesting how like people's different modes of creation, how like you can sort of have different things that get you started. So like for you, for instance, up until this point, have you found it's mostly been like, some people are like, straight up like almost catharsis. Like I need to just vomit out these feelings and this, that. Some people are like, no, you know, it's like I'm really like overflowing with like joy and I need to do this. Like how have you have one album, like full album out on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
So that album in particular, have you found that you approached certain songs more from one place or another?
Oh, for sure. Because there's like different experiences for each song, and music for me personally, it is really like it heals. Like if I'm going through something, the way that I would let it go is if I write a song and I sing it out, and then I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. Like as soon as I do that, it's like the weight's off. So it depends on the situation that I'm talking about. So like if it's a happier situation. But usually what I've noticed too with me, when it comes to happier situations, there's still a bit of a guard that I've noticed in my writing. Like I'll have a guard up in the happier situations. Like I don't know if this is...
Like what do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean?
Like I have a song coming out soon. It's called Stubborn Mind / Stubborn Heart.
Stay on the lookout.
Yeah, stay on the lookout, guys. And it's about falling in love, but it's also like I'm scared to. Like, should I do it? This is great. This feels great, but is this worth it? How would this affect me in the end? Is this like a true feeling, or is this I'm just caught in infatuation or whatever it is? So instead of what I've noticed in writing, instead of just allowing myself to feel the joy, there's always like a sense of like, I don't know. I'm unsure. Like this is nice, but is
Cautious
it?
optimism.
Yeah, is it really like okay? So it's like that. So yeah, I guess it's just it will just depend on the situation. But there is a natural guard up that I've noticed.
Interesting.
In my music.
It's definitely an interesting thing to explore. I mean, and like you talk about your most recent song, "Stubborn Love, Stubborn Heart," or
Stubborn Mind / Stubborn Heart.
Stubborn Heart. Right.
So it's like they're battling the two.
So you talk about love there, and I think like not to sound like too cliche or what have you, but songwriting and love in that way are similar, and like you got to really be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And there is like, you know, those moments when you write a certain line down and be like, ooh, that's too much. Like I can't.
Yeah, like
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, those are often the ones that resonate most with people.
Yeah.
The ones that make you like cringe to share because it's like your journal, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's pretty cool. But speaking of this song that people are going to hear soon. So I saw you when you were creating, or saw you on social media creating the music video, whipping around on trumpet.
Yeah.
So you playing the trumpet on this?
I'm
this
learning. I'm not playing the trumpet specifically on this song, but I forgot his name. That is so sad.
Song? We'll dub it in.
I will dub it in, but I asked him like, hey man, can you play the trumpet? Because the way that I'm going, like my oohs, like I'm like ooh. I wanted him to play the trumpet to that,
cool.
like along with that. So it's like we're kind of complementing each other.
Sort of like you were saying about just like hearing something.
Yeah,
already.
so I was like, I need you to do this, and he nailed that out. He harmonized it, everything like that. It was great. So I'm learning how to play the trumpet for sure.
Cool.
But
very cool.
I'm not the one playing the trumpet in the song.
In time.
Yeah.
In time. It's still pretty cool. It's a
yeah.
great prop anyway, just like
like I know
trumpet.
the notes. I know like it's a lot of like practicing and breath work that I have to
piss
work
off
on.
some neighbors maybe.
Yeah, for
something
sure.
like that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
My dogs too. Oh.
So how do they react to the trumpet?
They don't like it.
They don't like it.
There's a lot of barking and a lot of, what are you doing? I'm like, sorry.
Such a distinct sound. Like for a dog, they're they must be like minds are blown.
I'm like, what?
So what you've got such a unique style. It's like folky, rocky, really like emotive. What do you say your influences have been up until this point? Anybody you've really like hinged on as you're forming your own sound?
So like growing up, big influences were like Aaliyah, Mary J. Blige, Brandy, Janet Jackson, and then as I started exploring music on my own, it was like Paramore, Blink-182, and then I got into Bob Dylan and I got into the Beatles. So there was a lot of Norah Jones. There was a lot of mixing that happened, I believe, when it comes to the music, because each sound too, I love the soul in each, because there's a genre for soul, but there is a different soul in each of the genres that you could hear, and when you combine those, it's like, for me, I'm like, oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And
when you start, when you're in, talking about like patterns, when you're in a certain mode and then you are introduced to some other music, like a new artist or something, a new album, it's great how it like really just ignites something in you and like gets you to think about things such a different way. Like pull that in and use it in your own songwriting, which I think is really cool. So you said with regards to songwriting, so you usually start out with music and then you write lyrics on top of it?
It depends.
Wow.
So sometimes I could just have just the lyrics in my head, and I'll have a melody in my head, and I'll just pull up my phone by myself, like I'll sing it, and then I'll go home and it's like, okay, this is the chord progression.
It's like
that works.
shade in the corner,
Yeah,
just like whispering.
like, hey, and I'll be like, this is the chord progression that works for that, and then sometimes I'll have the music, and then I'll write onto that. But there's always an idea of what I want to talk about.
Right.
Because all my music is based off of just true things in my life.
Sure.
Obviously, you embellish it, you give a little storytelling to it, but it's all true. It's all based off of real things that I go through and things that I experience. So it would just depend on what comes first.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You the one song you played out there, I Don't Like It. I think that was the one with regards to just like, some heavy introspection when it comes to music. I think that's a really, it's like a really therapeutic way to, like, a relationship with music. Sort of, like we said, taking these maybe negative feelings, negative emotions, like outlooks or whatever, and sort of like putting them under this musical microscope and figuring out what comes out. And then, like, at the end, you've got this awesome product.
Yeah.
Which I think you do, but I think that's a pretty cool in terms of how you create your stuff and like what it does for you.
And I Don't Like It. It was a lot of freestyling, to say.
Really?
It was less of writing and just more, I had my guitar and I knew what I wanted to say and I just had my phone recording. And this was after, I could talk about it. This was after a suicide attempt.
Oh.
And I came out and I was just upset and I was just angry. And my main thing was, why do I think the way that I do?
Right.
And why does all these things happen because of the way that I think, why can't I just be like, you know, like think normally, like, oh,
Sure.
everything's good, you know, you just go through it, everything. So with that, I had like an anger, and I was like, you know what, I had my phone recording, and I got a new guitar, and I was like, I'm just gonna sing, and that's really what came out. I think what I really wrote for that song was the bridge. I think everything else was it's just what really just came out of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's I mean, I'm glad something great came out of it, and you know, sometimes you gotta like take those journeys, you know, in, like the dark moments of the night, and it's great that this song came out of it, and like that you've got music to lean on. You know, I think it is such a balance between, like you were saying, you know, you like bounce around the city and like take some time to yourself and really, you know, like spend some time with Justine, figure out what's going on.
Yes.
But like as like music creators, it's such it's so easy to like just be sticking yourself inside and like focusing on music and this and that, the other thing, and just like in your room. But then it's also refreshing to hear you say like you're making music on the go, like out in the world, which I think is also so important to just like really get outside and like shake things up, like see some sunlight, you know,
for sure,
all that good stuff.
Because what is music but like a feeling? Like music is something you can't really touch or like hold. You can just hear it and receive it. So it's important when you use music to express, and in a way when you express, you don't know who you're helping.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, like, there's moments when you do feel so alone, like, and you say that in that song in particular, and it's so easy to feel like you're the only one or what have you, and which is back to our point before about like the more intimate the lyric, like the more it's gonna connect, because it like reveals so much. It's so vulnerable, like it makes you shudder. But then when you're the listener and you hear a lyric like that, like, oh man, that's crazy. Like I'm going through that same thing, or that's so real. Like I'm like it gives people permission to like let them feel okay about, you know, feeling alone, and let people know they're not alone. I think that's like one of the, you know, it's got to be the most important aspect of music, you know, just to connect over that.
I know for me, music helped me. I know like there's songs that I remember I would hear and be like, wow, they get it, they understand. I'm not really alone. I'm not alone in this. Yeah, for sure. Anything I always like to ask people, anything outside of music that Justine likes to do that's like people wouldn't expect? I love Star Wars. I guess, you know, love Star Wars. And Star Wars is
love the Baby Yoda. See the Baby Yoda on the gram.
Oh yes, and then you got the Boba Fett show and everything. Star Wars is doing pretty good.
Yeah, they're doing okay.
I still haven't gone to Galaxy's Edge in Disney.
Oh, no,
I haven't gone. I have to go. Besides Star Wars, I do like to exercise. It's like a thing. Because it works, because I always have so much energy. I'm like, okay, I have to put it somewhere. So when it's not music, it's like, okay, maybe I could exercise. I don't know. And I get so mad because the next time I'm always so sore. I'm like, why did I do that? But it's just, it works.
I guess I can exercise. No, it does work. You gotta blow some steam.
Yeah,
it's important.
Gotta just go for a run. You do a little push-ups, sit-ups here, you know.
Yeah. No, for sure. Anything musically that you're like gunning for, you know, like you're coming from one place in terms of like your style right now, anything on your mind, like people you want to collaborate with that you can manifest right here and now?
I want to collaborate with everyone, like with every kind of genre. Like I'm in the works of collaborating with an Indian artist.
Oh, very cool.
He makes beautiful music. There's a lot of hip hop that I've been working with as well. I want to do some country music. I just want to collaborate with Spanish music. I'm Spanish, so like I want to collaborate with anything and whoever, like whatever genre. Just kind of hit me up. I'm down the work.
Link it somewhere.
I'm down the work. I love music as a whole, so like I've been wanting to just step into everything, and then obviously full circle back to what I do. So.
Totally. And I think at the end of the day, it will be uniquely your own. You know, you just pull from a bunch of spots and put that, you know, the Justine spin on it.
Oh yes, for sure.
This has been great though. I appreciate you coming out.
No, thank you for
awesome.
having me, guys. This is like,
where can we find you? You know,
you can find me on
places.
You can find me on like Instagram, right? Yeah, Instagram at Justine Grove Music. You can find me on Spotify, just Justine Grove, Apple Music, whatever you listen to music, I'm there. Yeah.
Cool. We'll link it.
Yeah.
Link it somewhere. Right on. But thank you. I appreciate
thank
you. This has been great.
Me. Yeah, this is cool.
Awesome.
Stay warm, guys.
Stay warm. See you next time.
See you next time.
Air is cold.
Yeah.